Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time for yet another edition. You know what? I don't think I started that right. We'll start again. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and welcome to yet another edition of the DoDCast for this 23rd day of August, 2017. The Nationals have lost tonight's game to the Houston Astros 6-1. It was closer than that. Sean Kelly with a terrible night. 3 earned runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. They were down 3-1. Edwin Jackson pitched a very good game tonight, as a matter of fact. We'll get to the totals in a second. So these two teams have split their series in Houston at 1 game apiece following this. And the Nats do not become the second tie for the second best record in baseball. They'll have to settle for third. It's actually been good baseball the first 2 games of this series. As I said to start the show, I don't think the final score tonight indicated just how good the game was. The game actually was very good until the very end. So let's get to the totals. As soon as I hit the right buttons. That was not the right button. That is, all right, it'll be 1 run. All right, we're done hitting buttons. Washington gets a run on 6 hits of there. They fall to 75 and 49. Houston, 6 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. They go to 77 and 48. Fires, F-I-E-R-S, gets the win. He goes to 8 and 8. And Edwin Jackson with a hard luck loss because he was only down 2-1 when he finished after 6. Goes to 4 and 3. Howie Kendrick 2 for 4 tonight. Daniel Murphy 2 for 4 tonight. Andrew Stevenson, mixed bag. He made a couple bad plays out in right field, and to be completely fair, that's not what his normal position. But he does pick up his first extra base hit of his major league career. He did have a double. He also drew a walk tonight. The mouse is not cooperating. Kendrick and Stevenson had the 2 extra base hits. That was it. So two doubles and 4 singles. Nationals did not have many chances with runners in scoring position. They went 1 for 3, and they stranded 4. And I've got some sort of peanut thing caught in my throat. Hold on just a second. Excuse me, there's no cough button on the mic. You go through the pitching lines for you. Edwin Jackson, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3. Boy, really, I'm surprised he walked 3. Struck out 1 and gave up an absolute bomb. No, that wasn't. A good shot to Marisnik for the home run. ERA goes to 3.38. It does count as a quality start. 95 pitches, 58 strikes. And really had the bases loaded at 1 out in the 6th and got out of it, which is very good. So lots of good things from Edwin Jackson. I said during the game, he is not your average number 5 starter. Matt Alvarez, 2/3 of the inning, a walk and a strikeout. The walk got him yanked. Matt Grace pitched an inning, allowed a home run to Stassi that found the train tracks in left field. 2 hits, a run, it was earned, and the home run. And Sean Kelly closed it out. 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 1, did not strike out anybody, and gave up a home run. 17 pitches, 8 strikes. Velocity was way down. Fastball 89, and a slider normally 82, 83, 84, 78, 79 miles an hour. So you have to wonder if he's hurt or if he's just really bad. And as I go to the chat, I see Judo says, this was a fun game until Sean Kelly happened. I would agree with that. 125%. It really was a fun game until Sean Kelly happened. I mean, if it lost 2-1 or 3-1, I don't think you'd have any reason to feel bad about it. Houston's a very good team. Edwin Jackson gave you everything that he possibly could. And outside of the the home run allowed by Grace, the bullpen did its job again. Coming into tonight, they had the second lowest ERA for the month in the National League at like under 2.5. I think I saw it was 2.45 on the telecast tonight. So, they're doing what you are supposed to do. And the bats didn't come through, and that's sadly been the case. But as I said, Kendrick had a couple hits tonight. Murphy had a couple hits tonight. Zim had an infield hit tonight. His launch angles seem to be at work in progress. Even Stevenson had a hit tonight. He's hitting 175. Matt Wieters did go 0 for 3. I wrote about him earlier. He really needs to come out of his funk. But there weren't a lot of positives or weren't a lot of negatives to take away from the game until Kelly came in. And now you got to wonder, is he still hurt? I'm really concerned with the velocity down, what his health is, or is this just he's kind of hit the wall? And I doubt he makes the playoff roster, to be completely candid with you. You just can't give up that many home runs and be competitive. And you don't have room even on a playoff roster for dead weight. You're trying to win every game. You're not out of it until you've made 27 outs, or as the Pittsburgh Pirates can tell you. We'll get to that in a moment. Hot take at the end of the sixth was kind of underwhelming. I think bases loaded with 2 out and an at bat should only come on, strikeout or grand slam. I think that didn't quite read right, Judo. No pop-ups. No more pop-ups or gap splitting singles. Well, he did his best job to get out of that, and I forgot how the inning ended, but he worked around it. The problem came, they intentionally walked Beltran like they did last night, and then he gives up the walk to Stassi, which really set things up. And then he got a jam out to foul out to Wieters on the third base side in foul territory. I believe that's how the inning ended. I mean, he did what he had to do, but the Stassi walk really just kind of changed the dynamic. And of course, the next time Stassi was up, I mean, this is their backup catcher for Houston. He hit that monster home run on the train tracks. That was Albert Pujols territory there. All right, let's take a look at the Major League scoreboard. And boy, there are some interesting games tonight around the majors. One of the things that when a night when everyone plays, I mean, this is a World Series preview or potential World Series preview. It won't, but with a full schedule, doesn't get the attention, and most of the attention, rightly so, went to Pittsburgh tonight as Rich Hill for the Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers took a perfect game into the ninth inning. An error by their third baseman to start the ninth took away the perfecto. He took a no-hitter through 9 innings, but the Dodgers could not score. So in the bottom of the 10th, in a scoreless game, Josh Harrison walks it off for a home run. And Pittsburgh beat Rich Hill and the Dodgers 1-0. Can you imagine that? It's the first time a pitcher has lost a no-hitter to a walk-off home run, and it was the first time in baseball history that a pitcher has lost a perfect game on an error to start the ninth. My heart just absolutely breaks for Rich Hill. In all seriousness, he pitched for the Red Sox, and we do these things on TweetDeck during the game, and so I have my own timeline on the left and districts on the right, and just everyone who had covered the Red Sox were just heartsick for Rich Hill. Other finals tonight, either of local teams or nationally playoff teams. Baltimore beat Oakland in 12, 8-7. The Giants beat the Brewers 4-2 in San Francisco this afternoon. Philadelphia shut out Miami, so the lead remains 13.5 games. Mark Leiter Jr. took a no-hitter, I believe, into the 5th for Philadelphia today. Mets beat Arizona 4-2. Mets in the role of spoilers. Cubs beat the Reds tonight 9-3. Seattle down Atlanta 9-6. And St. Louis beat San Diego 6-2. How that jumbles out, I'm really not quite sure. Colorado leads Kansas City 4-2 in the bottom of the seventh, and the only other game in progress. The Rangers and A's. Rangers 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth. 2-on for the Angels. I said, I just feel just terrible for Rich Hill in that one. So the lead does not change. With the Marlins lost to Philadelphia earlier today or tonight, the magic number for the Nats is now 25. Hard to believe that it could possibly be within, they're going to have this wrapped up in the first 10 days of December or September. Yeah, they're going to have that wrapped up in the first 10 days of December. So one more against Houston. Steven Strasburg against Dallas Keuchel tomorrow. And Ricky will have on someone from Climbing Tal's Hill and after the game tomorrow. And hopefully the usual result will happen. We have a guess it's the Nats win. So Ricky will have that for you tomorrow after the game, sometime between 11 and 11:30, I assume. And then four games against the Mets this weekend. And we now know that Max Scherzer will not pitch the opener on Friday. My guess is whoever was supposed to pitch Saturday will probably get the call Friday. Scherzer feels, according to Byron Kerr and Chelsea Janes, that he's a couple days away from feeling good or feeling okay and ready to go. So my guess is that you will see him during the doubleheader. That's just a guess. If it's only a couple days away, you can bring up a 26 player anyway. So I think Gio probably will go one day earlier, and you're going to have to cobble a start from someone that you're not expecting anyway. So, Jude, okay, so that's just my guess with that. Ricky says Gio on Friday, probably Gio on Friday regular rest, which on 121 pitches will be interesting to watch. It's true, but he only threw 91 before, and Gio doesn't throw all that hard. 121 is a lot of pitches to throw, but it's not like it's 121 Scherzer pitches when he starts running in the fifth inning. Judo asked, to completely change the subject, which do I think would happen first if baseball was played forever? 3 grand slams in an inning or 3 consecutive no-hitters by one player? Ooh. You know what? Well, Johnny Vandermeer is the only one to do it twice in a row, throw the no-hitters. But did that back in 1938. I'm going to say the no-hitters. Because with the grand slams, you'd have to get up to the plate 3 times in one inning and then have to have the bases loaded each time. I think both of those are, about the same odds as winning a Powerball, which I wonder if someone won tonight. But it wasn't me. I've got to return back to work over the weekend. Wow. I'm going to say the grand slams. Judo says, I think the 3 straight no-nos are more likely, although still highly improbable, because I could see someone of the caliber of Max Kershaw or Sale having 3 monster starts. Yeah, but to do 20, but you're also talking 27 straight innings of pitching, or 24, I suppose, somewhere in there. That's just a lot. And those guys throw a lot of pitches. You need to with all those strikes. It's going to be tough for any of them. All right, so let's go through some more good news for you. Another night of rehab for Jason Worth and Trey Turner as we go to our minor league report. Syracuse did beat Lehigh Valley tonight in Lehigh Valley. I think they booed Worth again tonight, being that the classy Phillies organization that they are. Syracuse wins 5-4. Emil Rogers gets the win. He goes to 2-2 with a 4.23 ERA. Austin Adams picks up his 4th save. Collier and Matt Skoll with his 10th homer of the year. Collier with his 5th. Turner drew a walk tonight. He 0 for 3, but was robbed of a hit. He's 0 for 9, but his timing was better today. Only played 6 innings. Jason Worth with 2 walks, a strikeout, and a run scored. So only 1 at bat, but he did reach twice. So good for him. They're off tomorrow, and they're both playing Friday in Potomac, and I think it's a wait and see from there. I doubt they come up for the Met series. Ricky didn't seem to think so, and I would agree with that. Kevin Jepson, by the way, picked up his second hold. Austin Adams, 2 strikeouts over his inning, and a hit allowed, and his ERA is 2.25. So Ricky and I were talking about whether or not Adams would get recalled. I didn't think he would come September. I mean, he looked so nervous during his outing against the Cubs, but a 2.25 ERA, I think if they're not worried about his innings limit for this year, I think they will, there's a good chance they'll probably take a look at him. Elsewhere, Harrisburg beat Akron 6-3. McGowan picks up his first win in Double-A, 1-5 with an 8.51 ERA. Crownover picks up the save tonight. How about that? No homers for Harrisburg. Potomac, which is where we'll see Worth and Turner next. Losers to Salem in 10 innings, 4-3. Mills with a loss. He goes to 2-2 with a 3.95 ERA. Hagerstown thumped by Lakewood, 14-4. Ouch. Pena with a loss, 6-6, 5.27 ERA. Auburn doubleheader. They lost the first game to Williamsport 2-0. Troop with a loss, 2-4 with a 3.13 ERA. And they lost. There were 2 hit in the second game, 3-0. Johnston with the loss. He goes to 0-2 with a 3.69 ERA. The DSL Nats were postponed, and the Gulf Coast Nats beat the Cardinals today in West Palm Beach 5-4. They pounded out 17 hits. German with a win, or Germain, depending on how you pronounce that, 1-3 with a 3.14 ERA. And Zwetsch, ZWETSCH, picks up his 3rd save. So that's the minor league story. Judo continues to talk about the Grand Slams. I don't think it would happen, but to hit two Grand Slams that was done once and then get to the plate with the bases loaded a 3rd time would require the other team to give 14 runs. And then that's an 18-run minimum. Just an interesting conversation. We've also discussed the likelihood of a 4 strikeout immaculate inning never done before. I can see that happening first. We've seen pass balls on strike 3 before. So it is possible to have a 12-pitch immaculate inning. And to get 4 outs but only 3 runners, but to only have 3 actually count. It is an interesting conversation. So be curious now to see if Ricky's still with us. Be curious to see what he has to say about when we'll see Worth and Turner. My thought on Turner was, and he can correct me if he thinks I'm wrong, is that you need 26 players on Sunday for the doubleheader against the Mets. They may not bring Turner up until the Marlins series early next week, but I wonder if they would bring Turner up to play the doubleheader Sunday and then send someone else back down at that point, just because the Nats miss both of their presence. But Turner has not – his timing isn't good, which is not a surprise coming back from a wrist injury. You have to wonder if it's still hurting. But, again, he drew a walk today, and that is a good sign. I don't think they're going to be in a rush to bring any of these people back, considering that the lead is still 13.5 games. And Ricky, of course, is correct. Trey is on the 60 through August 29. So I guess he can come back and can rehab another week, whether that's in Potomac or in Syracuse. So do you think then, Rick, that Worth gets the call back? Because he was on the 60, but he's been on the 60 since the beginning of June. So that is not a limit for him. And again, with depth issues in the outfield, you kind of want to have Worth back. Giles had a stiff neck. That's why he didn't pitch for Houston tonight. He didn't pitch last night. Didn't even warm up last night either. And Ricky thinks that the 26-man, and I think his thinking here is rather prudent, will be a pitcher. Now, I don't think it'll be Fetty. Jacob Turner pitched, started, I believe, Tuesday night, so he wouldn't pitch Friday. Judo asked, any thoughts on Jordan Zimmerman, by the way? He's given up, 7 earned runs his last 3 starts. He was a good Nat, but he's essentially done the inverse of Max in terms of his performance. Sometimes it just doesn't work for you. Ricky says, well, Zimmerman pitched well last night, 9 Ks, I think. The Tigers haven't been as good while Zimmerman's been there, just to hold up a different atmosphere too. And not that the DH would matter for Turner. Yeah, Turner pitched well last night, 9 Ks. Okay. For Zimmerman, not having the pitcher spot to pitch 2 or 3 times a game, I'm sure makes a difference. Sometimes you just kind of lose it. I mean, I think if you go back to what Sean Kelly is doing, clearly isn't right, and if it's not physical, then it happens. You do age. Father Time has a way of getting in there. I'm not looking at Twitter, Ricky. If you see anything said about Kelly, let me know, because that is a concern. I mean, you don't root for injuries by any stretch. Kelly is under contract for next year for decent money. He's a borderline DFA candidate, but the Nats never want to eat any money, and I don't think they really want to. But I think at this point, he doesn't make the playoff roster and probably gets moved in the offseason. They might eat some of that contract, some sort of part and piece of whatever move they're going to make. The guy they really need to keep for next year is Howie Kendrick, who's a free agent. I think one of us will write about that. So, final score tonight. The Astros win 6-1. It was a closer game than the score indicated. Sean Kelly gave up 3 on a homer to Stassi in the 8th inning. That was just absolutely nukes. So tomorrow, as we said, it's Strasburg and Keuchel in the rubber game of the 3-game set. And then it's 4 against the Mets starting Friday night. Ricky will be with you Friday night and Sunday night, and I'll be with you Saturday and during the day on Sunday. We have something exciting to announce. I believe Ricky can announce it on Friday night. You can't announce it tomorrow night, but on Friday night, we'll have an announcement for you about something that's going up over the weekend. And along with... We're not planning on doing a post-game show after the day game on Sunday. Remember, Sunday night's game is on ESPN. They picked it up. So it'll be 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock for the Mets. And like I said, I think Scherzer pitches on Sunday. What did we run on the site today? I did a piece on Matt Wieters and why he needs to pop out of his slump before the playoffs, because they really need that bat active during the playoff. Just because right now he's hitting 080, but coming into the night, even with a homer last night, he's hitting 083 over the last week. Before his home run, he hadn't had a hit in 16 at-bats. That's just not good. You just can't win that way. They have, but they need him to be more of the 260 hitter at home than the. I mean, in August is when he makes contact. His batting average with balls in play is 227. That's not going to win you a lot of platitudes. Judo says Adam Lind and Howie Kendrick are 2 classic Mike Rizzo head scratchers turning into genius moves. Yeah, I mean, Lind hasn't had a hit in the series, but he has 13 pinch hits on the year. Kendrick just plays so hard. Can give you speed. His defense, even Lind doesn't really hurt you too much in left. He's not really going to help you. So good defensively. Kendrick has speed. Kendrick has power. He loves playing for a contender. You can just see how happy he is in the dugout. You have to wonder if he'll take a reasonable deal if the Nationals won't try to keep him for next year. He is a free agent. $10.5 million free agent, but a free agent nonetheless. And I'd love to see Kendrick play. I think in a utility role. Remember, he can also play second base, give Murphy a blow when needed. You need guys around there like that. Stephen Drew, remember, is a free agent this year, or after the season's over. Boy, I really would love to keep Kendrick. Linda's back next year. His contract, remember, was a major league deal for 2 years. I think it was like $1 million and change this year and 4.5 next year. That's absolutely nothing. So that's what I did for today. Was I wrote about Weeders. Ricky did a piece on what role any Romero might fill. See, I saved myself on that one. When he comes back, mutual option next year on Lind. Okay. And I'm not sure what we're running tomorrow. I'll have something for you for noon. So, all right, that should take care of it. I guess there's no news on Kelly, which is actually kind of troubling because if it's not an injury situation, you know, not that you ever root for an injury, but when you see that his fastballs are clocking in under 90, that tells you that something's not right. All right, on that note, hopefully Ricky can bring home a series win tomorrow. He'll be with you after the game. Give this video a like. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at District on Deck. The website itself is districtondeck.com. And for Ricky Keeler and the rest of the staff at District on Deck, I'm Ron Jacket. You have yourselves a good night, and he will talk to you tomorrow. I will talk to you after the Mets game on Saturday. Good night.